Hey, it's me, Make Me Mac, back once again with another indie game. Today we're checking out Memoria Polis. This is a city slash civilization builder. It's been out in early access for a little while now, but recently had some updates to it. So I thought we could come back and check it out. I didn't see any recent videos up anywhere about this, of any of the changes or updates that they've provided recently. So we can check it out, see what's new, see if we like it, provide some additional feedback where we can, and hopefully have some fun. Diving into this new game here, the first thing that it's going to allow you to do is choose our destiny. So that means we can choose from different classes, such as priest, philosopher, politicians, craftsmen, and traders, and a strategist over here as well. Why don't we... Let me see here. Let us do priest. Let's try priest. That'll affect our population and get random offerings from them on a regular basis. Sure. Confirm that. We can now create our city name and do some customization over here. Let's just randomize a name in here. Madoros, that sounds nice. Your name. Very nice. Okay, perfect. Coat of arms, we can do some customization over here and change a few different things, positioning, all that kind of stuff here, vertical positioning, maybe do that. Tiling, yeah, we'll do something like that. And yeah, go ahead. All right, here we are in the game. So there's limited maps to begin with. And it does give us some recommendations on the right-hand panel about where to build. Where you start off can be important because you do need some space to be able to build out. You're going to need obviously some resources like wood and trees and stone and all of those kind of things. Trees and things like that will reduce as you take them out, so you wouldn't necessarily want to like build right in the middle of the forest because it's going to take you some time before you can free up some space. But over here looks pretty good. We want to make sure we have some sand and things like that not too far away. We've got a nice bridge over here as well, which might be interesting to build out this way and then build across the bridge. Let's do that. So we're going to take our ancient camp and we are going to place it somewhere relatively central here. We can rotate our camera here. We've got controls down at the bottom right. And how do we rotate our buildings here? We can use these buttons to rotate. There we go. So roads are important. So those icons you're seeing there indicate where road connections will be. And roads will automatically build as you connect new pieces to your town. So your family has made this fertile and welcoming land its own for you to decide your own destiny. This is the beginning of your dynasty. Starting with a simple camp, you'll have to develop an autonomous city that harvests its own resources, boasts a flourishing economy, and attracts other citizens to survive the ages. The goal is to make the future city one of the most important in the world, but be warned, your time is running out. Great. Alright, so we got our first little town center built here. You see some folks start to automatically move in nearby in those areas. We have production and proximity buildings available, so we can do small farm, we can do cutting camps and quarries. So yeah, let's get a farm going. Farm needs kind of a zone to build out, so we need to make sure that there's kind of grassy land, and you're going to see this round circle around that designates where we can build. So we can enhance that space as we increase our level. But for now, we want to make sure we have enough space to build out this farm. So let's put it like over here, and we'll build that out. That's going to take 9 cycles, they call it, kind of like churns, but they run automatically. You can see them down at the bottom here. So similar to Civilization, you have like a certain amount of churns before the age ends, but these just kind of run. So they're basically like months. Next, we can get some cutting camps down. So let us go over here. Say where there's a good amount of wood. It will tell you how much wood is going to be available for these camps. So we'll get one over here, and then we will get a quarry. So same thing. It's going to tell you what kind of resources are available. So I think for now, until we expand out, it looks like this is going to be the best spot to get us started with some stone. If I can get that built in there. That's going to get going as well. They're going to work on stone. The buildings, as I understand, at least at the first upgrade, can only do one type at a time, so you have to tell it what it can do. And now those are all building out. We've got proximity. So we've got surveyor's cabin. So it's going to give us a more buildable radius, which could be useful at some point. I think we'll probably want to get that over towards this beach over here. So this you can build outside, but it needs to be touching. So we're going to put it like here. And the reason why we're going to put it here is to give us access to this beach where we might find sand later on. So we will need sand in the future. And so you can see the roads build up automatically as you go through here. You can zoom in, but not too much, but you do see like little artifacts of folks running around in your town and whatnot. So there's a decent level of detail. I wish you could get a little bit closer, personally, just to kind of go in, zoom in down into your towns like you can in many of these other similar building games. And you'll also notice as you get closer in the graphical fidelity, things starts to fall apart a little bit. It looks much better from afar. Anyways, we've got our lumber started over here. We still got our farm going. And what's kind of cool with the farm is that it will slowly build out fields over time. So every field takes a certain amount of time to build, and so your farm will get enhanced the longer it's around. So we just have to wait. So we've got a couple of fields going, and we've got a few more that will build over there. Down on the left-hand side here, you've got all of your action items here, trade routes, urban planning routes, know-how, ramparts, things like that. We will be able to build walls later on as well. But for now, I think we have to wait a little bit to get our city improvements up. So in order to do that, we can click over here, and we're going to see the upgrade cost is going to be some wood, some stone, and some time. So we're getting very close to that. We also need to get up to 90 people. And right now we have up here all of our stats here. So our food, our wood, our stone, and our clay. When you highlight over it, it'll tell you where they can be found, which is nice. So you can see where they are. That's sand over here. We've got precious stones. And then down here we've got our gold, our blueprints. So this is what you use to research new production facilities and things like that. You've got your inhabitants, your workers, and wanderers. So wanderers are essentially just kind of homeless that might live in around your town. All right, so we have the 90 folks that we need right now, so we can go over here. We can hit improvement. It's now green. We can go ahead and hit that improvement. Accept that up. That will start building, and then that will allow us to do some more building. So now we got our Chapter 1 rewards. So we now have access to cultural buildings. And we also have access to additional production buildings. So we'll accept that. That camp is there. Let's pause for a second here while we look at these new buildings. We also get access to research. So we'll get into that in a second. So down here, we've got the research and building tree. And so you can see it's broken down into these different core areas here: production, cultural, proximity services. We've got some new stuff we can look at. So all of the existing buildings can be upgraded and then specialized later on. But right now we do want to get the architectural office because that will start making us more blueprints every cycle. So let's buy that. That's going to cost us 0. It's free to begin. So we got that going now. We can upgrade these later on. It's going to cost us about 2,500 to get to those next steps. But the next thing we want to do is get a cultural building. And so each of these produces or benefits a certain class of people. So religious, education, commercial, and so on. And as you build these out, people of those classes essentially will start bringing in groups and forming unions and all sorts of things like that inside your town. So for example, if we wanted to go into production, we can get this ceramic workshop. It costs us 500. We can unlock it. Now we can start building ceramic workshops. We can also build arenas. We've got this word here, which is going to provide us religion, which might be beneficial since we're kind of a religious leader, I guess. We can accept that as well. We've also got proximity, so we can upgrade our cabins here as well. That's going to cost us 750. That's going to give us a little more radius. I think we'll do that now since we have the options here. And then there's going to be some other areas that open up as we level up. All right, I think we've got enough for one more cultural building, maybe a politics building. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So those are our Antiquity cultural buildings. So similar to the upcoming new civilization game, this one goes through like phases. So you're going to go through a phase, and then it's going to go into the next period, and then your buildings that were built in the past, some of them will be able to carry forward, and some of them will not, and you have to kind of decide which ones you want to keep and which benefits you keep. What it's telling us down here at the tutorial here is that you have a whole bunch of items here you need to keep in the green. So things like creativity, esteem, belonging, safety, and health. So we basically want to keep these balanced by building different cultural buildings that help benefit those, which we can start doing now. So now we have these areas here. We need more things for that though. So we need more stone and wood for the build those out. We can build our architectural office though. So this can be built anywhere. It doesn't impact anything. We can just kind of throw it wherever we want. Let's spin this around so it's near the road, and we'll clunk it in over here. And we'll make sure we're moving time forward so that we can start collecting the goods we need over here. Okay, so we now have enough resources to start building some of these elements. So we can get form the religious building here, the ceramic workshop as well. Hub of production. Let's get this one down. And so this is a building here again. Needs to be close to something. But what you'll notice is as I get it close to the residential areas, it starts filling in, and essentially it's going to create districts for these different classes of folks. So if we build this over here, it's going to allow us to choose where we want it to benefit. So automatically it's going to benefit in this space here, which is belonging. So it gives you that already. But now we can choose to also benefit to a minor degree one of these other areas. So say we can choose health. So that's going to give us plus 131 health, 35 health, I should say, and 157 belonging, and we can confirm that. And so that's going to go ahead and take around 11 cycles to build. And we don't have enough money right now to make anything else, so we got to wait a little bit longer for that to build out. So we'll speed up time. Okay, great. So our first cultural building has been built, and it now gives us access to some more buildings. So we'll check those out in a second here. If we go down to the decorative, now we're going to have decorative items here. This will increase and enhance the likelihood that folks will want to move in and the level of their houses that you'll see down here. And so you see that it has all these different districts that start to form up. So it shows you the number of citizens. Eventually we'll be able to upgrade these or manipulate them by building buildings nearby. And people will generally go close to where the culture is high. We've got access to another production building here as well, the stonemason and carpentry, so we can start making use for wood and things like that. Okay, so those we probably need to get some more production going. We do have 23 workers over here. So for every person you have, a certain percentage become workers. So we can get another cutting camp going, probably maybe like over here. Start taking out this wood, give us a little more space to build out. And we're also going to want to start getting a quarry over here where the sand is, so that we can start collecting sand. Confirm. We're also going to want to look for clay at some point as well. Not too far away. Yeah, we can almost get the clay. There's a bunch of clay over there. Now we got a bit of a pop-up going over here, so we can go check this out. We have the factions have started to fill in our districts. So the faction followers of ISIS wants to join the city and settle in a neighborhood of the same culture. In exchange for your hospitality, they provide a list of benefits at your sole discretion. Click on the bubble above the relevant district to accept or reject it. So we can see that over here we've got a certain amount of cycles before that goes away. So let's click on that. And so we can see Amenhotep has crossed many landscapes to settle in your land. His faction, the followers of ISIS, come to share the teachings of their goddess and assert that she can protect life after death. Their initiations and rituals can be observed by all your citizens. And so if you accept this faction, it will occupy an available area in your city. And so they produce something. So in this case, they produce gold and they give you cultural influence. They also have trust and destiny trust and things like that that you'll have to manage, and not every faction gets along with every other faction. So that's kind of the balancing game that exists in this game. So let's accept those guys in. They're going to settle in somewhere over here. Yeah, so you can see now this is influenced by the culture of this building. So in order to get more influence of different cultures, we can start building more of these buildings. So say if we want to, we can throw in a forum over here, and that's going to influence that part of the city. And we can get some additional influence. These will turn gray as they start going lower, so you know which ones you might want to add to. We can confirm that over. And then we can also get the ceramic workshop in a little while, as soon as we get a little bit more stone, it looks like we need. Excellent. All right. So speed up time. We'll take a look at the research as well. Because inside the research now, we do have new production facilities we can research. So we've got a stonemason and a carpentry here. We do have enough to get one of them, so we'll get the stonemason going. And we'll look to go and build a stonemason in a little while. There we go. So this causes disturbance. So basically, like you might expect, your industrial parks will affect kind of the value of lands. People don't want to necessarily be near them. We've got a rock quarry right over here, though, so I think if we throw this guy like down near the bridge, that shouldn't affect anything. Alright, excellent. And so our town's kind of expanding out. We got almost 300 people now. In order to get our next upgrade here, we are going to need 56 wooden beams. So we'll need to get that researched in a moment. And 300 people. Perfect. So I think we have enough to get that now. If I'm not mistaken. We do. Get that going. Now we can build the carpentry zone. Let's do that next over here. We'll keep kind of an industrial spot near the water, near the cliffs. Get that in nice and tight there. Roads will build automatically, which is nice. It's completely gridless. You can kind of build wherever you want to. As long as there's space, you can't build like in the forest. Unfortunately, it will not allow that unless it's a woodcutter. I also think that we'll probably want to get another quarry going somewhere where there is wood, stone. Where is there stone? So there is more stone in that mountain. There's a lot of stone way up that way. And there's stone down this way. I think we want to build out this way. So if we go into our proximity buildings here, we can get another surveyor's cabin. And we can start making our way out this way. We'll have to wait until this one is done. And now we can get another one of these guys over here. Okay, once that's built, that will allow us to start harvesting the clay and the stone out this side, which is what we'll work on next. So now we can get a small quarry in here. So here we do have a lot more stone. We can't quite, yeah, where can we fit in there? Get as much as we can for stone here. Right there. Build that. They're going to focus on stone. And then we're going to get another one down over, like right next door, I guess. How close can I get you in here? Can't get you in there. Must be outside of swamp. So that's not going to give us a lot here. Where else is there clay? So there's a lot of clay there, but I can't quite get to it because of the swamp. There's some more over here. Get us like 1,200 over there. If I get in here, that would get us like 1,800. I don't think that's worth getting another. Let's just try to push it as much as we can. Right there. Okay. Build that. You're going to start getting us clay. Okay, and probably we should get another cutting camp down as well. Because we are going to need lots of wood and farming space. So let's get another one over here. As close as we can here. That gets us another 2,300 wood. We've got the workers for it. And we now have enough of everything to upgrade our town hall. We've also got some folks who want to move in. So now we've got the plebeians of Rome is at the gates of your city. So similar to the religious faction, these guys will add some gold into our coffer, some cultural influence, but they might not always get along with everybody else. So let's just accept those guys for now, because that will give us some additional gold production in the near future. So you see that going up very slowly. We have another faction over here. No, that's just the notification of the faction. We dealt with that already. All right, so you see we got our farm going over here. We should check the food amount. Our consumption is starting to exceed our production, so we'll need to get another small farm in. Could build it out here. Let's build that out there. But you can see how our farm has expanded now. We can upgrade these later on as well, so we'll be able to do that soon. We can also upgrade this guy. Alright, so upgrading this is going to give us access to more buildings and so on, so let's get that going. That's going to take 10 cycles. And nice prosperous looking city already being built here. Yes, beautiful. So now we have tilery and brickwork, so we can get our clay and such getting built into more materials in a moment. We got a nice farm going up over here. And oh, looks like we have an issue over there. The Espelin is a place where charlatans and saviors sometimes mingle. So this is starting to degrade a little bit. So we can repair it. That's going to cost a whole whopping lot of wood and stone, which I don't think we want to spare right now. So we'll do that later on. And then over here, what's going on? We have a fire, looks like. Yeah. Oh. For occasion as well, we're going to get these pop-ups that are part of the story. So there's a bit of a story that's slightly aligned with historical events that have happened during this time. This is the threat of Macedonia. An emissary brings you a letter from the king of Macedonia who wishes to conquer territory in order to gain access to the Aegean state. He plans to lay siege to Amphipolis and the neighboring Greek cities and sees you as a key ally. You have the necessary soldiers, and the Greek cities have coveted resources, but weakening these cities in order to exploit them could be harmful in the long term. You could also seek political and religious support to moderate the king's ambitions. The choice is yours and will shape the future. Live up to your convictions. So we have an option to reinforce. That's going to make -3 safety for 50 cycles, and we help out Macedonia. At the end, we'll win Tuluyanum. Butchered that one. But that will give us some positive influence. It's a prison, apparently. Okay. We can also go seeking help, which will be -10 gold coins for 10 cycles. And we'll get Mysterium. Okay. And then otherwise we could defend, which is going to mean we're going to be -20 food. And we get the Ludus Magnus. Excellent. Okay, so we get some interesting buildings we can build from there. What do we want to do? Food is a bit low, but should be improving in the near future. We'll defend. Think we can afford that? Not quite. We'll have to build another farm. There's a riot going on right now that has resolved itself. So we did have some rioting going on, but it seems to have settled down now. You can see the town looks really busy now. I think they could do some additional like animations as well, but it is nice to see like everything that's going on as you go through. As we explore, we're also going to find things like this, which is a ruin. So we can determine whether we want to demolish it and get us some resources, or we can also look to repair items as well, which will usually become a cultural building of some sort once that gets built up. But right now we do need to get a farm. Alright, so there's our gift. And we next want to get another farm going because our food is very, very low. So let's get a farm going. It's another small farm. We've got some space for one over here. I think that's going to connect over to that road. And then, yeah, food is slowly going up. Let's clear all of those. Those are no longer relevant. So we got that going. And then we have, we've got a new cultural building, which is going to require some bricks. And then we also have a new epidemic. Okay, so we need to get our satisfaction up a little bit there. We also need to start working on some additional production buildings. So let's pause it for a second. I'm going to go into our research space here. And we now have the ability to get a tilery. Yeah, we got plenty for that. And a brickwork. So let's get those as well. We also have more cultural buildings available. So what can we grab here? Goji Center. We have the Ludus Maximus, which we've already researched. And we've got political and commercial. Let's probably get a commercial district going. We also have service areas here now. So these are kind of our big buildings that give us new controls and abilities. So we should try getting some of those unlocked and built as well. Yeah, we've got a couple of those. So that will give us the Horium, which allows us to observe our storages, gives us more storage space. And we've got basically the early market as well. All right, so now that we have that done, we can get one of these in immediately. I'd say get the market in. That will create a market. Say we can't. Maybe we can build it up there. Maybe. Like so. Connect it there. Let's build it over there. That gives us two choices to add on. Right now we are really terrible for safety, so we're going to get that going. Everything's really bad actually. So we're going to get, what's the lowest one we have here? Probably creativity or esteem. This already gives us health, so we'll confirm that in there. And then we can also get the Horium in. And we'll put that, where should we put that? It's a big building. We can kind of get it in here maybe? Yeah, let's get it in over here. And then that will allow us to fulfill the belonging and more safety. All right, so let's go through, let those built. That will help us immensely. And we have, there's an epidemic going on over here. I don't know what we can do about that at the moment. We also have a fire going on. On fire, yes it is. It is indeed on fire. Okay. So from what I remember from my first demo playthrough, they seem to have added a lot more severity to the events. When I played through last time, it was pretty casual. Wasn't much going on. Right now, there's a ton of stuff going on. Which is probably for the best. Gives you something to think about and prepare for. But I don't know if there's anything that I can really do about any of these at the moment, besides like destroying stuff. So we'll just have to kind of wait for those to resolve themselves. All right, so that is built now. That gives us a lot more cultural radiance and resonance. And you can see these things have moved back into kind of the greens, except for our creativity, which is a little bit low. So that means our blueprints production is reduced. But everything else should be a little bit more manageable now we got those in. So you definitely have to watch your balance on these to make sure they don't go into the red. Otherwise, all sorts of stuff breaks loose. This farm is now going nicely. Food is back where we want it to be. And we're moving right along here. I think this is a good place to end this episode for now. Might come back in and continue to build so you guys can see through the ages that they have available so far in the early access. But hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like, comment down below. and happy to continue to do some episodes on this to show you a little bit more about this game. Thanks as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Hey, it's me, Mick back from that video you just watched. If you liked it, make sure to like, subscribe, and here's some more videos you might like. Thanks for watching.